Back from shopping. I didn't get anything. Stacia got like 3 bags of clothes, but I didn't find anything. Um, we didn't go to the nail shop. We just lost track of time. We were in one store for like 2.5 hours. So yeah, I was just getting restless. But I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm going to a natural swap event where you bring products that you don't use anymore or didn't work out for you, and then you exchange it with someone else product, and we just discuss products that we used and how it worked for us or didn't work for us. It should be fun, but I look forward to that day tomorrow. Yeah, should be interesting. Ready to go to the swap, natural hair swap meet. I got a couple products to take. I have the Proclaim Professional Care Intense Hydrating Mask with argan oil from Morocco that I'm gonna take. This Motions Salon Hair Care Lavish Conditioning Shampoo with silk and keratin protein for medium and coarse texture. And some VO5 Herbal Escapes Kiwi Lime Squeeze Clarifying Shampoo. Yep, so I'm excited about going to this event. I should be leaving any moment now.
And it's been a big journey because whenever I started going natural, it was like nobody else was natural, and everybody looked at me like I had a third thumb. And you would hear people saying, "Look here, I don't know what you do with your hair, but you need to get that together. You need to slap a perm on it. You need to do whatever, right?" One of the reasons I went natural because originally I had natural curly hair, but as I got older, as it began to get harder to manage, I got a perm on my hair, and it wasn't a regular perm; it was a pressed perm. Long story short, it messed up my hair, so I had to battle with this relaxed hair that totally messed up. I had to chop it off, chop it off, chop it off, chop it off. So like I said, I went totally natural 2010 when I was 18, and it was kind of on accident. Let me explain. So I was at home. I was in the shower, washed my hair, got out, and by this time I had probably 4 inches of natural hair, and the rest was perm. So I told my mom, I was like, "Mom, why don't you cut it off?" She was like, "You want me to cut it off? You want me to cut it off? Give me the scissors." I was like, "You ain't gonna do that." I gave them dang scissors, and she cut it off, and it took me a minute to realize she had really cut it off, and it wasn't there no more. Oh God, I woke up the next morning with like the biggest shock of my life. Like, it's really gone. Like, this wasn't a dream. So from there, I stumbled a lot. I began to watch YouTube. It wasn't really a lot out there at that time. So I became a product junkie. Does this work? Does this work? It says it add moisture. Does it really add moisture? Try all of these products. So I had, at that time, my counter was like full of products, right? Using all this stuff. But I can say my journey, natural versus chemical, is it's so well worth it. For one, when I went natural, I was kind of discouraged because it seemed that my hair wasn't growing. You know, a lot of times we're visual. If I can't see a difference, it's like nothing's really happening. But when I began to pull out my hair and stretch it out, you could actually see how long it was. So I said, okay, well, then I had to realize, unlike perm hair, when you get a perm, it seems to be growing straight from your hair shaft out of your hair. As in curly, your hair tends to coil. So just looking at it, you can't tell how long it is until you stretch it out, until you straighten it or whatever. So anyway, along my journey, I have still been searching for products with moisture, and this is one that I fell in love with right here. This is the Cantu Shea Butter for Natural Hair Moisturizing Activator Cream. I don't know about y'all, but moisture was something I really struggled with. I would wash my hair with certain products, I put certain products in my hair, and it just felt like a desert, kind of like a cactus, kind of having something. So I really struggled with that, and this is one of the products I found to really help me out. Another thing too, no silicones or sulfates. I don't know how deep you guys are into your natural journey, but with our hair, let me tell you, this stuff right here, you mess around, put some silicone sulfate in your conditioner, and you washing and rinsing it out. I can't literally put my fingers in my hair and run it through it because it kinks our hair, make it really thick, like bad. Okay. my encouragement to each and every person in here will be, natural is not pretty at first, but keep going because it's so well worth it. I don't know how many women that say, "Oh, girl, when I was younger, my hair was down my back, it was long. My mom used to wash my hair, press it out." That's exactly right. Whenever we get into start putting those chemicals into our hair, it's damaging our hair over and over again, making it weaker, breaking off, making it more dense with this or that. And we wonder, well, I don't have good hair. I don't have this. I don't have that. Well, that's not really the truth. The truth is, up until the big natural movement went on, we didn't really, we wasn't really treating our hair the way we should. We would go spend $100 or $200 or $300 on weave, but yet we're not spending $200 or $300 on moisturizing cream and stuff to make our hair healthy. You know, it's like we want to look good over nurturing our hair. So that's my thing. I'm natural. It's pretty much all I gotta say. All I gotta say is stay encouraged though. It ain't pretty at first. I ain't gonna lie. These days I was just like, can you confirm on that right quick? But it's well
Anybody
worth it.
like flat iron their hair? Anybody have used the serum, like you went to go get your hair flat iron and they put this real thin slip stuff on it? That's actually a silicone. What it does is that basically they coat your hair in it. They call it a heat protectant, but it's also a moisture barrier. So when you put that on your hair, basically it is keeping the moisture out so that your hair doesn't revert back, or and most times you actually have permed hair, it doesn't let the moisture in. So you have to kind of watch out for that. The next one is no paraffin. Anybody has their hands dipped in wax? What is it called? Anybody know what it's called? Paraffin wax. It's basically a thick, like, type substance that actually keeps, it's basically a moisture barrier. That's all it is. These are the type of things that are chemical made. They're not stuff that's natural or from nature that you can actually put into your hair. These things require some type of another type of chemical to actually pull it off of your hair. And that's where you get the issue is basically when you're putting all these chemicals on your hair and then you take all these chemicals to get it off of your hair, then what's left? It's your hair, which you're actually damaged at that point in time, because you're using your hair as like this thing to put stuff on and pick it up off, and you're basically going to wear your hair down. And that's where you get a lot of people who say, "Oh, my hair is broken." The thing to make sure that they have like certified organic ingredients. There'll be one that says no GMO on it. Make sure that you're looking at these labels, because that they're required, in order to put that label on there, they're required to meet certain standards. And Shea Moisture is one of those products that I do love, product lines that I do love, especially for these deep conditioners. They're really, 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 really great. Caucasians, their hair is straight. So whenever their hair produces sebum, it can just run straight down the strand. Our hair is coily, kinky, or whatever you want to call it. Well, the sebum has a hard time trying to get down the strand of your hair. So that's why I hear a lot of people who say, "Hey, my hair at the root feel real good, but the ends, they real dry." And that's because products are not being able to get down to your hair. A lot of people do a lot of stuff to their scalp, but they don't do enough to their ends. Also, just look at our hair. Look at mine. You can see this part, right? This ain't nothing but ends. So as I go out throughout my day, you have different stuff affecting your hair, whether it's sunlight, pollution, smoke. If you're around people who smoke, that actually can accumulate onto your hair. Everything from your environment. What if you're asleep? Everybody know the natural rule, what you gotta do. Put that satin cap on your head. You know, you need something to protect your hair, or sleep on a satin pillow. So all those things are going to affect this. But if you see, when I part my hair, this right here, not a lot of stuff is touching this. So that's another reason why you have to do a lot of stuff to make sure that you're protecting your ends, because this is the most exposed part right here. So that's where you get a lot of people who do, Alicia does a lot of protective styles. I don't really do a lot of protective styles. It's just not my thing. My scalp just doesn't like it. Honestly, my hair just doesn't like it. I can get, and I kid y'all not, I can get a headache, and it's because I've had either my twist up too long, or I have my hair pulled back, and I can let my hair out in a fro, and my headache will leave. I don't know if it's just me or whatever the case may be, or my hair is just saying, thank you, I'm free, whatever the case may be. But doing a lot of stuff to protect your hair as you are natural, it's really going to help you. And it could be that, you know, you can spend a lot of money or that you don't. There's a couple of different ways you can go. You can make stuff in your cabinets. You can be that next person who's on that product line as soon as it drops. And that may work for your hair. Sasha has seen that if she stays with a least amount of products that are in her regimen, the better for her. Like, if she stays with her holy grails, as I call them, like stuff that she knows that our hair likes, her hair and her scalp does very well. Me, I throw about any number of things on my hair or what if I'm using, but everything mostly that I use, it's not going to have any parabens, sulfates. I'll mix up something. I buy out of the grocery aisle as well. If you're buying oils, do not buy any of those that are in the hair aisle. What is it? Mr. Hollywood or Hollywood oil. Y'all know the ones that come in the little bottles?
Dr. Miracle?
Not even Dr. Miracle. It's the oils. It'll say carrot oil on it, and it'll have Hollywood something on it. They sell it in the hair aisles. Don't buy those because they're not all oil. I mean, they're not all just that oil. Most of them have like a base in it of mineral oil. Mineral oil is basically this really thick petroleum. Like Vaseline, that's what mineral oil is next to. It's basically they're just using that base, and then they'll add in like 2-3 drops of carrot oil, and that's what they're selling you. But they're not telling you all of what's in there. It'll tell you when you look at the back and you see the first thing of it, it'll say mineral oil or petroleum or something like that. Basically, you're just coating your hair and nothing else is able to get into it. So buy your products at the end. If you go to Walmart, you have the flour on one end and the oils at the very end. Buy the ones that you can see the extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, they sell that there, coconut oil. Look for more of the oils that say cold pressed, unrefined. Coconut oil is still cold pressed, unrefined, but they also sell a refined one. Refined just means that they have actually added heat to it or changed it just a little bit in order to use it at a higher temperature. That's all refined means. I don't have to use coconut oil that's refined because I don't really put any heat on my hair, so I don't need any type of coconut oil. Sometimes some people get silk outs and stuff like that. You may want to use other oils like grapeseed. I think can be used at a higher burn rate. It's like 400 degrees, something like that.
Oil is not as heavy either.
It's light. It's a very light oil. With grapeseed, you might want to use like grapeseed. Avocado, I think, is at 390 to 410, somewhere in there. Those oils have to actually be refined in order for them to get the oil out of the avocado or the grape or whatever. It has to be sold like that way. So most of those you're not going to find cold pressed, unrefined in those. But your olive oil, you can find that and like cold pressed, unrefined, different stuff like that. But I mean, refined, unrefined is really not too much a big difference. Like glycerin in the winter, basically it's going to take the moisture out of your hair and put it back into the air. Because cold air doesn't have as much moisture than it does in your hair. So it's going to act in the reverse. So if you're using glycerin, make sure that you're putting something on top of it, like a shea butter or something like that, to make sure you seal in everything. But use the shea butter, because I'm going to tell you now, you can get a lot of split ends. We start wearing coats. We start wearing sweaters. All those will start rubbing onto the bottom of your hair. And these may seem like small, tedious things, but hey, any little thing that you can change when it comes to your hair, it will help anything like this. Because the more that your hair rubs onto something, anybody using t-shirts instead of towels anymore? Anybody heard of that? The reason that they're saying using t-shirts is because you have that cotton that's already been stretched and laid out, it doesn't grab to the ends of your hair and ruffle it. If you look at towels have like little pieces of cotton that actually get onto the ends of your hair and it can rip and pull and break. So, just different stuff like that and trying to change your regimen, as they call it, it will help you in the long run.